I'm Sam.
And I'm Meddi.
Welcome to the Community On Demand Virtual AI Money Guide Podcast.
In this episode, we're doing a deep dive on turning ideas into real solutions.
All right, so get this. We're diving deep into Module 4 of this youth entrepreneurship course. And it's all about turning ideas into solutions.
Yeah.
Specifically tackling food insecurity.
Oh, cool.
What's really interesting is that it's structured like there's a storyline called Dreams World to make learning more engaging.
Yeah, it's gamified, basically.
Yeah, Dream and her dad, Nino, they're like the main characters.
Oh.
And they use the STEAM investigative process to try and figure out this stakeholder's dilemma.
Okay.
Which is what they're calling the food insecurity challenge.
Gotcha. So you're learning alongside these characters.
Right.
Instead of just like reading a boring textbook or something.
Exactly. It's way more interactive.
That's cool. But it's not all just like theory and storylines, right?
Mm-hmm.
You actually get to apply what you learn.
Yeah, for sure. So Module 4 really gets you into like creating and actually implementing your own service learning project.
Whoa, so like a real project. Yeah, to tackle food insecurity in your own community. And they even have this system, the Community On-Demand Creative Economy. It's pretty cool.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You're learning all these entrepreneurial skills by actually participating in a simulated economy.
Yeah.
Working through this challenge alongside the characters.
Mm.
And the end goal is to create a project that helps with food insecurity in your community.
Right.
That's pretty ambitious.
It is. And there's this specific service learning project they use called Fresh Bites. That's like the model for the whole course.
Okay, like a case study or something.
It's a whole supply chain management system where you're managing the production and the sale and the distribution of like all these locally produced goods and services,
Wow.
all to strengthen your community's agritourism network.
Hold on, there's agritourism involved too. This is getting pretty complex. I'm starting to see how it all connects.
Right.
But where do the adventure games fit into all this?
Oh, that's the fun part.
Okay.
That's the competition part of it.
I
So
got-
you're not just learning by yourself. You're actually competing against other people in these adventure games to see who can create the most successful Fresh Bites project.
So like whose project can make the biggest impact?
Yeah. And who can add the most value to their local economy.
That's really cool. It's like a real world simulation with real stakes.
Exactly.
So you're learning, but you're also motivated to actually like perform well and make a difference.
Yeah. It keeps it interesting.
What I'm really curious about is this community on demand creative economy. What is that exactly?
Well, it's basically the economic landscape of the adventure games.
Okay.
And it's powered by this group, the STEM Direct Youth Chamber of Commerce.
So that's like the governing body or something.
You could say that.
Okay.
They're the ones who like provide mentorship and stuff.
Gotcha.
And within this creative economy, you're earning rewards for contributing your skills and resources.
So it's like you're earning points in a video game.
Kinda, but instead of unlocking new levels,
Yeah.
you're actually making a real impact on your project and like contributing to the success of this simulated world.
That's pretty neat. It sounds like a really immersive and engaging way to learn about entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it's designed to give you a taste of how real-world economics work.
Yeah, and how your choices like actually make a difference.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. It's like way more than just a typical entrepreneurship course.
Yeah, it goes beyond just theory.
All right, so now that we've got the big picture, let's break down the curriculum.
Yeah, let's get into the specifics.
What are these lessons all about, and how do they guide you through this whole process?
Well, the first lesson is all about understanding your community.
Okay, so like market research.
Sort of. It's called Explore Your Community.
Makes sense. You got to know the lay of the land before you can like start planting seeds, right?
Exactly.
What kind of tools do they give you to help with this exploration?
So they have these worksheets that guide you through things like identifying socioeconomic indicators and mapping local resources.
Oh, wow. So you're really doing some in-depth analysis here.
Yeah, it's about figuring out like the strengths and weaknesses of your community when it comes to food security.
So you're like a community detective gathering clues about food.
You could say that.
That's pretty cool. And then what?
Well, once you've got a good understanding of your community, you move on to lesson 2,
Okay.
which is all about defining your solution.
So you've explored the problem, and now it's time to brainstorm some solutions.
Right. You start developing your mission statement for your Fresh Bites project.
Gotcha. So you're figuring out the why behind your solution.
Exactly. And they also have you do a skills self-assessment worksheet and the T challenge.
Skill self-assessment sounds pretty straightforward, but what's the T challenge?
So the T stands for talent.
Oh, talent. Okay.
It's all about figuring out your strengths and your areas for growth,
Oh, that's interesting.
which is super important when you're working on a team.
Yeah, because everyone brings something different to the table.
Exactly. It's all about understanding your role and how you can contribute.
Okay, makes sense. And then what comes next?
So then you get into building your team. That's lesson 3.
Oh, team building. All right, so how do they approach that?
So they have this model called the Community Involvement Growth Strategy.
Okay, CIGS.
Yeah, the CIGS model.
And that helps with, what exactly?
It's all about organizing and optimizing your team's resources.
So it's like you're creating a mini company
Yeah, kind of.
with, everyone having clear roles and responsibilities.
Right.
That's important when you're tackling something as complex as, food insecurity.
It is. They even give you worksheets to help you define roles and nominate leaders and divide up tasks.
So they're giving you the tools to actually implement this model.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So what happens after you've assembled your dream team?
Well, then it's time to get down to business, literally.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Lesson 4 is all about mapping your value.
Mapping your value? I'm intrigued.
This is where you start thinking like a real entrepreneur, focusing on resource management, budgeting, really understanding the financial side of your project.
So you're not just throwing ideas around, you're figuring out how to make them happen within a budget.
Yeah. And they have these activities, Anatomy of a Skill Card and Fueling Our Creative Economy, that help you see how all of that fits together.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned those earlier.
Right. They show you how your skills and the resources you use actually contribute to the value of your project.
That's pretty cool. It's like you're learning that your actions have real financial consequences, even in this simulated world.
Exactly.
But I'm thinking, even with a great team and a solid budget, things can still fall apart without good time management, right?
You're absolutely right.
Time is money.
And that's where lesson 5 comes in. Manage your assets.
Okay, what kind of time management tips do they offer?
It's more than just tips.
Okay.
They actually teach you how to analyze your time usage.
Oh, like tracking how you spend your time?
Yeah, and then how to prioritize tasks, create realistic schedules, and stick to your budget.
So it's a whole system for staying organized and productive.
Exactly. And they have worksheets to help you with all of that.
They really give you everything you need, don't they?
They do. It's pretty cool.
So you've done the research, you've built your team, you've made a plan, and now you're managing your time like a pro.
What's next?
What's next? Well, it's time to shout it from the rooftops. Share your success with the world.
Exactly. That's lesson 6. Share your success.
So how do they approach marketing and communication in this module?
Well, they cover a lot of different strategies.
Anything particularly innovative?
They actually have this idea of using STEAM Education e-gift cards as a promotional tool.
STEAM Education e-gift cards. That sounds interesting.
It's a way to incentivize people to support your project, but also contribute to a bigger cause.
Okay, that's clever. But what about after the project is over? Do they just send you off into the world and say good luck?
No, not at all.
Okay.
That's where lesson 7 comes in. Package your skills.
So it's like taking everything you've learned and figuring out how to apply it to your future goals.
Exactly.
What kind of tools do they give you for this packaging process?
They help you create achievement statements, build your personal brand, and there are even workforce readiness checklists.
It's like they're giving you a toolkit to navigate your future, whether that's going to college or getting a job or even starting your own business.
It is.
That's amazing.
And then, of course, there's the grand finale.
The big finish.
The community stakeholders meeting.
Okay, tell me more about this. It sounds important.
It's your chance to present your project to a real audience of community stakeholders.
Oh, wow. So not just your teachers and classmates.
No, this is the real deal.
That's got to be nerve-wracking.
It is, but it's also a chance to really shine.
Yeah.
Show them what you've learned and how your project has made a difference.
And this is where that digital portfolio comes in handy, right?
Big time. It helps you tell your story in a more engaging and interactive way.
I bet. Okay, so we've covered a ton of information about Module 4.
We have.
I'm already impressed with how much they've packed into this one module.
It's a lot.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty of each lesson, I'm curious, what's standing out to you so far?
Well, I think what really resonates with me is the emphasis on real-world application.
Yeah, me too.
It's not just about learning in a classroom, it's about actually making a difference in your community.
And this community on-demand creative economy is really fascinating to me.
Oh yeah, it's a really innovative concept.
It's like they've created a whole world where young people can learn and experiment and actually make a real impact.
Yeah, and that's something we'll be exploring in more detail as we continue our deep dive into Module 4.
Awesome. I'm really looking forward to learning more about that.
We'll uncover how this creative economy works and how you can use your skills and resources to make a difference in this simulated world.
Sounds good. I can't wait to hear more about it.
All right, well, stay tuned because we'll be back soon to dive deeper into the community on-demand creative economy.
And see how it all comes together to help young people tackle the challenge of food insecurity.
That's right. See you next time.
Bye for now.